market manipulation. What is going on? So obviously we both saw that graph and we've been live on Twitter. I spent like 4 hours on Twitter today and everybody's
You
talking
don't
about the
you
same
you,
thing.
you don't like to use X.com, right? You don't like to say, "Hey, I posted on X." It still tweets to you,
Fine.
huh?
X space, same thing. We're basically boomers at this point. So we're allowed to get it wrong, right? Our Gen Z kids, well, your Gen Z kid and my Gen Alpha kid at some point are gonna be like,
I'm
why do you guys keep
millennial.
saying Twitter? No, our kids. Okay, yeah, we're gonna be like, why
Okay.
you guys? Why are their dad and Uncle Mike always talking about, or Uncle World always talking about this thing called Twitter? And the wives are gonna be like, they're talking about X. Anyway,
Well, I
so
still chill on MySpace, so I don't know about you, man.
so market manipulation. So we've been seeing what's going on with regards to basically the market is acting rational in the sense that this happens every 4 years, right? Last time was with COVID in 2020. Wait, disregard the music and the noise in the background. 2020. 2023, we saw the same thing with FTX, right? A 2 day dip. In these past 48 hours, would you say we saw the same thing and why, in your opinion?
Yeah, I mean, this whole trade war and the tariffs and everything has everybody going crazy. I think market makers are scared of what's going on, so they're pulling out the liquidity, and that's why you're seeing huge fluctuations in price. And that's due to the fact of the uncertainty that's going on with these tariffs. To give the broader scope, what I feel is this is exactly what Trump talked about. He's going to use these as negotiation tools. And literally within 12 hours, you had two phone calls with the same two people that on Friday put tariffs on two countries, the two leaders he
President
had
Canada and
conversations with.
President Canada and the Prime Minister of Canada. We can say, I don't know how to
Uh,
pronounce the President of Mexico's name, but Prime Minister
Scheinbaum,
Trudeau.
Scheinbaum,
Yeah, and then
Claudia,
Trudeau, French. I don't know if you
Fidelson.
want that. Yeah, Fidelson. Anyway, we saw that play out, right? We saw this morning. He talked to Mexico. They were like, "Hey, we're good. We're going to work with you with the fentanyl crisis." Same thing with President Trudeau at 3 o'clock, and then an hour afterwards, what does Eric Trump, President's son, tweet? Or he posts on X, "It's a good time to buy Ethereum." No,
And they
the
and World
market, the
Liberty
market
World Liberty has been
recovers.
buying, right? World Liberty has been buying for like weeks. You can go on, I think Arkham Intelligence, and you can see it's like the new insider trading kind of because they have the inside scoop on what's going on. So they're
But
making
blockchain,
moves.
but on the blockchain, it's all transparent, right? Unlike banks, where
Exactly.
you don't necessarily know. So that's a good how we know.
Right.
However, like, oh, by the way, I hope you like the shirt. I know you hate X,
I
but anyway,
mean, listen, man, I'm rocking the "Don't Tread on My Bitcoin" hat today.
yeah. So anyway, Michael said. By the way, just side note, Michael still didn't buy Bitcoin today. I think he was waiting to see how it would play out, and if he would buy it. The market went lower. But
Yeah.
this happens every 4 years, right? And again, it happened during that FTX situation in 2023. That like a couple of days before crypto starts going parabolic, well, in the parabolic runs, we see that they try to scare the newbies, not us. They try to scare the new. We've been here before. They try to basically scare the newbies into selling their crypto. It jumps in price, and then who was buying the whole time? Coinbase acquired 5,000 Bitcoin in the past 48 hours. Did you know that? And Solana too, sourced the
Right.
blockchain. So
Right.
Coinbase
Love the
was, why wasn't
transparency.
Coinbase? Why was Coinbase? Yeah, why was Coinbase not scared? What were they buying when everybody else was jumping?
Because they're going to fill in some orders from people who are going to come later on, and they need to have spot ETH on hand to do that. And the thing is that it's what I said before. You have a lot of uncertainty. You have market makers whose way that they make money is providing liquidity. When there's uncertainty, they're going to take the liquidity out, and that's why you're going to have a $10,000 almost fluctuation in price, as you saw within the last 12 hours. And that's to flush people out. That's to get the Black Rocks in. Larry Finks are going to start buying, and it hopefully is the last bottom before we turbo moon. But
Definitely, the cycles are undefeated, right?
well, we have one more big tariff news coming up, which is going to be
China.
Europe.
Oh,
Yep, is going to
Europe?
be big.
Oh, yeah, but
Yep.
they're going to fold too. They have more to lose than we do. They provide us with luxury items that we don't really need. Canada provides us with oil and actually products that we need like food. They trade with
Yeah,
us.
no, for
But
sure.
but I
But
wanted
the
to
thing
say
is,
something as well. I want to talk about like
I have
Solana.
one thought about it though. One thought about it. With Europe, though, I think you're going to see a sort of issue like we had right now. I don't think it's going to be as dramatic because I think now the market's going to start pricing these tariff news items in. but I think you're going to see maybe one last flush with that before maybe we'll go up. So, and Europe is big, man, because their economy is humongous, and they might not provide us with anything, but they still have probably one of the biggest economies in the world, and they're still 10% still on China. So, with all that
And
being
just
said,
FYI,
yeah,
congratulations to you, the UK. Coinbase just got their regulatory approval, sir. They are now officially in the UK as well.
good luck with that. I mean, Europe is, I mean, specifically
Well, UK is not Europe,
UK.
right? UK is a separate. UK left
Yeah,
Europe for a
right,
reason.
right,
There's a reason why
right.
they left Europe. I don't think they were big fans of like things like the micro regulations. They overregulate. Maybe that's why they left
Right.
Europe.
Well, they got their own issues. I think Binance is still banned from there, and
Hey,
there's
Binance
a
has
couple
banned
others.
everywhere,
Right, but Binance is the biggest exchange on the planet, and that's
of
still the
course.
case.
And
So
and it's an exchange
until you
that
start
I plan on
stuff,
using, by the way. So as you know, we're doing certain things with my family. We're getting double nationality because every crypto bro has like a second or a third passport, right? So we're getting our passports and we're opening accounts in Binance and in the Dominican Republic. It is what it is. You got to play the game somehow. But I wanted to ask you specifically about. I know you hate XRP. No, no, you
I
hate
don't hate
Solana.
it, bro. I don't hate it. I just think that they're undermining the entire crypto sphere, but I don't hate it.
Ripple is undermining the entire crypto sphere, not
Yeah,
XRP. XRP is a token, right? But
controlled
there's
by
something
Ripple,
really
but
something's really happening here. So there's a rumor. Apparently, it's a rumor because it's not confirmed. Nobody can confirm this except Eric Rakunas, who's good at this, and this is what he does. This is how he makes his living by talking about ETFs. That the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, yeah, Chicago still exists
see what I mean.
as a financial hub. They have Solana and XRP features being hosted on it beginning the 10th. And on top of it, Solana is expected to get its ETF sooner than I believe XRP. So they're saying the reason that Coinbase
Doge got its ETF already
application filing
processed.
Doge.
Yeah.
Yeah, Trump. Yeah. So this is my thing. Do you really think that part of this market shakeout wasn't just for Bitcoin? Because obviously you need Bitcoin, you need liquidity. Because let's be honest, they're running out of liquidity. We don't even know if they have Bitcoin on the goddamn exchange at this point. Like if everyone would take out their Bitcoin, Coinbase might crash. It might go into its reserves and crash. But Solana specifically, they're saying that they would have been picking up Solana crazy the past 2 days, past 48 hours, specifically because of the ETF news. They expect an ETF to come to be imminent, and they expect it to outperform Ethereum. Is that
Yeah,
correct?
Ethereum has been crashing. Yeah, like Ethereum. If you look at the Ethereum BTC chart, it's still sinking. There's problems with the Ethereum Foundation still, their leadership, and I think at this point the only people that are buying Ethereum is Don Jr. and Eric with World Liberty Financial
World
because
Liberty Financial specifically is buying
right,
Ethereum,
right,
and we almost saw midnight. By the way, like go basically TV when they interrupt each other. We just keep talking, so if you don't mind, and you can interrupt me whenever you want. But we saw that for the first time in UTC midnight, Ethereum actually began to outperform Bitcoin for like basically 26
right.
hours. It was, and people were like, "This is altcoin season. It has begun." Ethereum was outperforming Bitcoin. That was short lived,
Yeah, dude,
but
and
it happened.
it's very telling. Like all the meme coins that have been coming out, they're all built on Solana, Pump.Fun.
Well,
So
yeah, not
I think
Ethereum.
right, and the reason for that is the high gas fees more than anything. And until they fix that, so Vitalik fixes that, and it's a centralized token at the end of the day. Like the Ethereum
It
Foundation has
is.
been dumping on everybody. Um,
Oh,
but
God
you
damn,
think
man, you're
about like
aggressive.
yeah, I mean, it's the truth. Though. I mean, you look at the stats, like they actually have, and the reason for that is because whether they're going through internal developments or they're cashing out and buying Lambos, I don't know. But Solana has been picking up that market share, and I think this cycle will outperform Ethereum for sure. Just because you have everything built on top of it, it's faster. And I'm not a Solana fan at all. I mean, I'm a
I
Bitcoin
am.
maxi, but as you know, but out of ETH and Solana, I think Solana is the better performing protocol because again, faster. And now you're seeing all these meme coins are built on top of it. What nobody's really talking about, which is kind of alarming, is last cycle we had NFTs. NFTs were everywhere. Everybody had an NFT.
And then
Nobody
before that,
talks
it was
about NFT,
ICOs. Remember, before
right?
that was ICOs.
But
Then you had
right, but they're both built
I,
on Ethereum, and
NFTs, and now you have.
nobody's building on Ethereum. There's no NFTs that are coming out that are built on Ethereum. So you need that hype. You need that generation of news of like what's being launched, and you're getting none of that with Ethereum. And I think that that's indicative of what's going to happen. And if that's the case, then yeah, you're going to see Solana outperform. I think
I'm
I'm going
curious.
to predict you're going to even see Doge outperform ETH at this point.
Listen, you're going to see a lot of things that perform Ethereum. Actually,
Yeah.
said I did a little technical analysis. You know, I have a team of people and ChatGPT as well, in addition to my team of people. And I believe that at the end of the cycle, Ethereum will be in the fourth position. It'll be Bitcoin, XRP, Solana, then Ethereum. And yeah, I made predictions that are crazy, but a lot of them come true. Anyway, I was actually
Yeah.
on X Space today. I talked about the article that I wrote, one of the articles that you liked
Great article, by
last
the way,
year.
man.
Thanks. That where basically I said January last year, XRP will become the third biggest in market cap again. It will rise again, and people thought it was crazy. But and listen, I'm gonna miss you. I know it's not about this, but dude, we keep missing each other. Like I wanted to see you this Saturday for the first time. 'Cause one time you were like,
I
dude,
know.
just come to New Jersey. Look, I'm going to Tri-State area at the perfect time, and a bar that you love, the kind of bar that you want to be at,
Yeah,
the
no,
Bitcoin bar. By the way, they
there
hit
is a
altcoins there.
sliver. There is a small possibility I still might make it, but it's like 70-30 at this point. Either
By the way, I
way,
got kicked
like
out of
we
the,
do miss each other.
I got kicked out of the PUBG chat for trolling on. By, basically, I wasn't chilling with street coins. I was just saying
They're
shit that was
maxis though,
funny.
man. They're big Bitcoin maxis,
Yeah,
bro. You gotta be watch your
yeah,
mouth.
yeah. I don't think they were very happy about like, oh yeah, look, Trump is buying Ethereum. Exit, kicked out.
Yo,
they were very,
it's so funny because like listen, I'm a Bitcoin max at the end of the day, but I get it. Listen, and I understand it, and I understand that there's value elsewhere. The thing becomes is if Bitcoin is the indicator of everything else,
yeah,
and now you're
Jeff.
seeing Bitcoin start rising. That's one of the biggest technical indicators of like that chart they mentioned, altcoin season. Once Bitcoin dominance starts falling, then you're going to see the rise of all the altcoins. But you have the Trump coin, dude. It's down 80%. You had Fartcoin down 80%, and it came
Hey,
up,
hey, listen. Hey, but Trump point,
and
we both
everything.
know it's gonna rise again. We both know that. So you kind of have that. And I bought it at a really low price point,
What
and
I'm
I got
saying
my own
though,
some too.
what I'm saying though is with a lot of these things, you're going to start seeing these cycles that are going to be happening. And this is one of the things that I've been very much researching. These cycles are going to be happening much quicker and much more repetitively. So you take a look at, you mentioned originally the 2020 COVID crash. Everything was down 90%. We just had that happen in a week. So yeah, it will come up, but I think these cycles are going to happen faster, more repetitively, in perpetuity now, as long as Trump is still president,
And
because you have
also,
news coming out.
go ahead, finish your point. I
Well,
was
no,
just
that
gonna
was
add
it.
on.
You're gonna have all this news coming out. With strategic reserve and what the announcement potentially is tomorrow with the czar of crypto, David Sachs, and I think a lot of the maxis have been the strategic reserve. We got like some semblance of an announcement with this digital asset made in America stuff, but maybe there'll be something more concrete tomorrow.
Oh,
Maybe
by the
that's
way,
just going to
that
co. Yeah,
yes,
go
by
ahead.
the way, I just wanted to talk about that Oregon today, Oregon and another state put in an application for a Bitcoin security reserve at the state level. Just wanted to add that note
Yeah,
because you're saying that
I think it's going to start passing now. So like it's passing the houses and it's what we talked about the last time that we chatted. Your individual rise with it, baby.
and I'm taking notes because I want to make sure we cover everything that we can in the next
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
10, 15 minutes. So David Sachs, 2:30 p.m. tomorrow. Do you think that has anything to do with the creation of the sovereign wealth fund today? And do you think the sovereign wealth fund is going to have at least Bitcoin allocated to it? And in addition to that, you think
You
that's
repeat that.
okay? So
Can you repeat that? You were bringing up.
the wealth fund that Trump announced today, he announced the sovereign wealth fund. So, do you think that has anything to do with like basically the crypto policies? Or do you think it's a coincidence that he signed the executive order for the sovereign wealth fund today, and that tomorrow David Sachs is going to come out and talk about how the U.S. can strategically position itself to be a major power player, the capital of crypto worldwide?
Think that that was intentional. If the case, then I don't know if that sovereign wealth fund will be um, buying up these digital assets that were announced before. I mean, Bitcoin and XRP being a couple of them
And made
being
in America tokens, right? Now they have made in American
right.
tokens. What is a made in America token? Because Bitcoin's apparently not made in America. What is that? What does that mean, Fernando?
Satoshi Nakamoto is an American man. I don't know if you knew
Are
that.
you sure he was using British English on his paper?
I'm fucking around. I don't
No,
actually.
no,
Nobody
that's
knows.
it. No,
That's
no,
the whole
but
point.
what is it? What is an American made token, and why isn't Bitcoin included in it?
I
Explain to
think
us,
the
please.
theory is companies that are incorporated in America, right? And the
Solana's not
development
incorporated in
is in
America.
America.
Solana's
I'm
an
sorry.
American made coin. Solana's an American made coin according to Trump, and they're
Yeah.
incorporated in Switzerland. What's going on with that?
I guess. I mean, I don't buy the whole American made stuff. I mean, not for anything else, but crypto. I mean, I don't buy for crypto because at the end of the day, we're talking about a decentralized technology, so it doesn't really matter where you are. I think more than anything, I think he's drumming up support for his base and like, oh, we're just doing Made America. I think we should not do any Chinese coins, that's for sure. Any country that's our sworn enemy, I don't think we should be buying up any of their
Damn.
digital assets.
Yeah,
Like
it's all good.
Tron. Well, it's funny because Tron, Jason's
Or V
son, has
Chain.
been buying up a lot of World Financial Token or whatever. He was one of the
Stocks,
biggest
yeah.
investors.
And I think that Trump is doing them a favor. I don't think that's because he believes in Tron. I think that they really do believe in Ethereum, though. And why did Trump launch on Solana? And Why didn't he launch on Ethereum? If he likes Ethereum so much.
It's the same reason why everybody else is. It's the new hyped protocol, and I think that it's easier to launch a token on Solana than it is on Ethereum. I mean, you have
So you
Pump
don't
on
buy the fact
on.
that you don't buy that Trump had a team. You think that he just basically went on Solana and pumped not
I think
pump.
it was
He
Baron.
uploaded
It
a
was
picture.
Baron. I think
He
Baron did
uploaded
it.
he loaded up a picture and then yeah, because people use like, oh, there was a team, our team launched. And I was like, dude, I had an intern launch it in
Yeah.
like 5 seconds.
No, I
I,
think it's Baron. Baron totally did this. Honestly, and like it sounds funny, but I think Baron Trump is the inspiration behind a lot of Trump's crypto vision
of course,
because
it's that age group.
you have that age, right? And he mentioned it with TikTok and how that won him a lot of votes or whatnot. And if you don't, this is the future, right? We all know it, and that's why we're in it. So if you don't think about that and include those people, and not to say that he should have a role because I don't think he should. In fact, like there was a controversy there with Martin Skrillex, that the weird guy that was arrested for the pharmaceutical stuff that bought the Wu Tang album. There's a few months back that he was working with Barron to launch the original Trump coin on Solana. Because there was like another one that was supposed to be like directly
Yeah,
tied to it,
the
but
students for Trump, they were saying about why and all this stuff, and it was a controversy, and it wasn't.
right,
Or they
right,
disowned it at least. But yeah, I definitely get where you're coming from. That like so this is something that's really interesting to me because I do a lot of research. I spend all my day doing research.
yeah, man,
Basically,
you're
boomers
down with
love their
that.
real estate. Yeah, boomers like people like 60 to like and up, or let's say even say 50 and up. They love real estate. They're basically real estate maxis. You go into like our age group, like 30, early 30s to like mid 40s to late 40s. You have a mix of real estate and crypto. You go to Gen Z, it's all crypto.
Right.
So I find that fascinating because I believe that in the future, people are going to be selling real estate, especially if you have like a kind of like. 'Cause let's be honest, we're looking to see basically almost a bull run that's extended, or even short bear market in between a super cycle, like 2 3 years of growth, 5 6 months of consolidation, bear market, and then we're going to go right back in, right to basically when
Yeah.
Trump leaves office. So if that happens, you're going to see people selling real estate, especially if Trump, correct me if I'm wrong, especially if he does have no capital gains tax on crypto is made in America, and you still have to pay on real estate. And let's be honest, real estate's a headache, right? You have tenants you have to deal with. You gotta
Well,
fix
Elon
parts of
Elon
houses.
spoke today about getting rid of property taxes. So
Oh yeah, but that's more of a what do you call it? That's a state level and county level thing.
right.
Realistically, if you just get rid of capital gains taxes at the federal level, there's
Yeah.
7 states and Puerto Rico that don't have capital gains
Yeah.
tax at the local level,
Right.
and you can always live abroad and not pay the federal. You can live in DR. DR has capital gains tax 27%. However, cryptocurrency is exempt from any capital gains tax in the Dominican Republic. For me, an
¿Qué lo
example, let's say
que?
I
¿Qué
live
lo
in New York.
que? ¿Qué lo
Que
que?
la
¿Qué
que hay.
quiere con eso?
Let's say I'm a New York resident. I can live in Dominican Republic 7 months out of the year, 8 months out of the year, and not pay capital gains tax in New York, and have to pay the federal ones. So I think it's the future. But
But there's
listen,
there's like no free lunch though, right? Like you get rid of the capital gains tax. Listen, I'm a laissez-faire free market guy, but at the same time, there's no free lunch, so you have to get that revenue either by tariffs, that external revenue service that he was saying, the ERS or whatever, or it has to come out some other way because
or get rid of most of the
or
government,
or
get rid of
right,
80% of the
right.
federal government, which AI can do almost anything. You can have a fake AI girlfriend that can talk to you in real
Yeah.
time. If AI can do that, I'm sure that AI can can run the government eventually.
Well, I
And
mean, and
it
to that
doesn't.
point, and this is like on a tangent, but I mean, it's talked about. Like, if you go to USDebtClock.com, they have the Doge clock now, part of it, and I think it's up to like $54 billion in the past like two weeks that he's been looking at the stuff like USAID and like all these like governmental organizations that they're just going to slash. So yeah, if that's the case, then you're going to need more of that to then get rid of capital gains and get rid of property taxes and then income taxes. If crypto is going to be exempt from that, it's to the betterment of the United States because more innovation is going to then happen. You're going to see more companies actually move their operations abroad from here. I think France is being like super reasonable now. I mean, I read an article that's like,
They've always been
I think,
unreasonable. They're
yeah,
French.
right, exactly. But I think it's like now like 60 or 70% tax or something like that. Ledger, which is one of the biggest hardware companies, I mean, they're founded there. So, would you see one of those companies that, like a hardware company that's in the crypto space move to the United States? That's inevitably what we want, right? And I think that that's what he's pushing for. Whether that's going to be the announcement tomorrow or something like it, we shall see. But if we think about it in that sense, where how do we capture the mind share of people who are innovating in the space? You have to incentivize them. And the way to incentivize them is through their wallet. So if you get rid of the taxes for that, then they're going to come. So if his team, if this czar, going to now, I want to talk about that David Sachs guy because, and then
We love David
Bo,
Sachs, and also
Bo,
he's a Solana guy, right?
yeah, Bo Hines or what's the other guy's name? That's the other crypto
It's Bo
guy.
Hines. It's Bo Hines, the football player, former football
You know,
player.
and
I don't know how the hell he got there, but hey, go
that
ahead.
I don't understand, right? And I think that that's going to turn off a lot of people who are in this industry, where you don't want to like pardon an SBF and put him in that position. But I think that there's
Or you want to say that you basically disowned Tom Brady for being a crypto guy, but now Bo Hines is the crypto guy.
no, not that. I don't want a guy who's like nobody knows about. Like I've been in this space for so much. I've only heard about this guy since he announced them. Like what does he know about crypto? Like David Sachs, okay, he was PayPal, like okay,
Solana.
you're right, I get it. But like if you have people that are going to start doing the regulations and actually working with the SEC and the CFPD or CFT, the Commodity Exchange, whatever, um, you need people that are baked into the industry. Like the perfect guy is he was the Binance US CEO. His name is escaping me right now.
Is he
He
American? Oh yeah,
spoke.
he was American, right? He was an American
Yeah,
guy.
he spoke at Congress. It was just like 2, 3 years ago. Spoke in front of Congress. Just very meticulously and brilliant. I mean, he's a suit at the end of the
But the
day. But
problem is Binance is not allowed in the U.S. and they've been having a lot of issues even with Binance
why? I mean,
U.S.
CZ already
I
served his
don't
time.
know.
He already paid his fines. It's over.
Yeah, but it's just after FTX and people want companies that are based in the US. Who knows? Maybe Binance will actually move here. But listen, I
Right.
wanted to just make a point that on France, I saw worldstatistics.com and they asked people what is the weirdest country you've ever been to, and we all said France. Or people that
It's
weirdest people. I
dude. I've been to
haven't been there,
France.
but
Actually,
I've hung out with French people. They're very rude.
I went to the Ledger headquarters.
Oh,
This
really?
was almost yeah. It was like 10 years ago actually.
Briefly, wait, in
Actually,
10 seconds. What's
maybe 10.
Ledger? What's Ledger in 10 seconds? What is it?
Ledger is the hardware wallet. It's the crypto hardware wallet. It's probably the most
Okay.
popular, most safe hardware wallet. I mean, no promo code. Like I personally use it. I have a Trezor as well, but Ledger has the user experience that I think is gonna really push this industry forward, especially for like cold storage. And they're headquartered in France. I don't know what mind out there was smart enough to come up with it, but they did,
The
and
French
it's
are just, dude. The French are very innovative. Like besides the U.S. and the
right,
U.K., they may be rude mofo's, but like there's some innovative. They're so innovative that even the Swiss part of like the French part of Switzerland, it's a confederation. They're
right,
making crypto wallets too. Tangent. I
yeah.
think it's French or German. The German part of
And
Switzerland. Anyway, they're
yeah,
a French country.
they're artsy fartsy sometimes, but when they do some engineering stuff, like you would think Germany would come up with a wallet, Germany, with the engineering, but they've fallen behind, and a lot of countries have. And this is going to the point that we're talking about. This is the perfect opportunity for us to basically swoop in and say, no, 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 we're going to lead this with the technology, with the innovation, and with
The
all the
money.
regulations. Yeah,
And we have the money. We have and like you said, Satoshi Nakamoto. He could have been American, right? Or he could have been, but it's somebody from the English speaking world. There's something about English speakers specifically that are top in the world in just terms of innovativeness. Maybe it's because the English language is like has more words than any other language in the world. And the number two language that has the most words is French. I was
right.
a language teacher for a while, so I learned about languages. But yeah, maybe that has something to do with it. There's a correlation between the amount of words in your language. and the amount of creativity that you
Yeah.
can, basically goes through your
Well,
brain.
yeah,
Because
I
people
mean,
do think
it's also like the reverse where it's like you're talking too much and you're bloviating and like get to the point. So I don't know what the case is. What I do know is this. This is just what I'm saying. This is the perfect time. Tomorrow's announcement is going to be pivotal, right? I think you
definitely
have that. I think you're going to have now interest rates are going to start getting cut because if these tariffs go into play, I mean, he's Trump is basically doing Powell a favor by issuing these tariffs, crashing these markets, and then all of a sudden now you'll see hopefully the Fed start cutting rates. And I think that super cycle that we're talking about is going to come to fruition before the
really.
summer. Yeah, I truly do believe it. And if it doesn't, then I'm fucking wrong. And like whatever, my
No,
predictions are
no, but you
wrong.
think it's gonna be selling and go up. I'm talking about like super cycle in the sense that you have 3, 4, 5 years of just nonstop growth with no bear market in between. That's what I define a super cycle as.
I think yeah, I think that, but I think you're gonna start seeing super cycles within that time. I think you're gonna start seeing those periods, right? That 3 years or whatnot.
Like
You're
you
gonna
mean the
start
low
seeing
periods
cycles.
that? Okay,
Right.
go
You're gonna
ahead.
start
Sorry.
seeing cycles within those 3 years.
Okay, like a meme cycle. Like usually you see a meme cycle sometimes between like when the bull market happens. Like
Right.
like we saw a meme cycle last month. We might see one in the summer. Usually slow, but we might see one because all the Gen Z kids are out of college and the high school
Well,
students
the,
have
the
free
the meme
time.
cycles usually are the end of the cycle. That's
Yeah, but
usually
I'm saying that
indicative of
like
the end.
you're saying that like you might, because usually traditionally summer is really slow, right? So I'm gonna go away. So you think that we
Yeah.
might see something this summer as well? You think we're not gonna stop
We
in the
we had
summertime like we
we
usually
we had
do?
DeFi summer. I think you could totally we have the conditions for it again. I mean, I don't see why not. I think the reason why the summer months are slow is because the suits are at their Hampton's house. But
Yeah.
if retail is actually stepping in and people are bored, and I think that the major thing that needs to happen is the Fed to do quantitative easing. Once they start doing QE, I think you're going to start seeing a lot of the money that they're going to be basically printing going into crypto. And if that's the case, then we're going to be in a good position. But
Well,
if
if you see that, and on top of that, he cuts. There's no income tax, and he cuts capital gains tax. People are gonna have a lot more money. And if you
right,
still have to pay capital gains for stocks, and they're not as impressive, right? And
right.
cryptocurrency can go up 20, 30% in a day sometimes, and you don't have to pay capital gains on it. Where are you gonna invest your money? It just makes sense.
Yeah, I think now with all the protocols and going back to what you're saying because you talked about a good point there about the boomers and real estate. Donald Trump,
By
the
the way,
president,
I love boomers. I love boomers. I'm not
yeah,
saying anything bad
I'm
about boomers. Go ahead.
not a huge fan, of boomers, whatever. But Trump is a boomer, but he has a young son. He
Go
has
ahead.
three young sons, and I
Yeah.
think what you're going to start seeing is Donald Trump made his money on real estate. Eric
Yes.
and Don Jr. made their money through his their father. Let's all be honest. I mean, they don't really have anything of their own besides this World Liberty.
Although
So
they go. President Trump did go on to give respect to them. He did go on Patrick Bet David's podcast. And listen, we had to work, even though we were his sons. He didn't give us anything. You
for
can tell,
sure. I
right?
mean,
They
you get
had
on
to work
construction
for it.
site, but if there was no Donald Trump, there would these kids.
Yeah,
Nobody could say anything,
definitely.
and that's what I'm kind of getting at. But they're gonna have to leave their mark, and I think they're gonna leave their mark on crypto. And if that's the case, then I don't think we're thinking about this in a very we're not personal. Me and you are, but I think people shouldn't think about this short sightedly because you're going to have people that are going to make their fortune here. This is the newest money, right? Old money is dead. It's locked up.
Yes.
It's away. The new money is here, and with that, I think I would hope that the innovation and all the regulations that are going to come out of this administration are going to gear towards people like that, but us and anybody else who wants to make generational wealth. Because it's time now. There's a digital landscape out there to do it. What does Michael Saylor always say, right? Well, Bitcoin's like Manhattan, the island of Manhattan.
Yeah, Manhattan
If you
200 years ago or
right,
something.
if you equate it like that, then yeah, and like it's getting bought up, and like it's not late yet. Like we're very early still, but time is going quick, right? The ball is like on the phone. It's like really spinning really fast now. So you're gonna have people that are gonna want to make their mark here, and I think that with that, this administration is gonna gear towards that. Everything that they've done so
Well,
far, besides dropping that fucking Melania coin, has been great. That Melania coin was the stupidest damn thing I've ever seen in my
yeah,
life.
but listen, but they brought millions of people that would have never bought crypto basically into crypto, and they taught them a lesson on
That
how
was
to
the biggest
basically.
thing.
And they also taught them how to buy and sell on Coinbase or Gemini and send your money over to a decentralized wallet. So they learned a lot. If you had never bought a crypto in your life and you bought Trump on your own, you learned basically 3 years of crypto knowledge that a lot of people don't know, right?
Yeah,
But
no, it's so funny. I had so many friends coming out the woodwork, and I still do, and it's so awesome to see it. But then it's so nerve wracking for me because I'm like, all right, the normies are getting in now, and the normies, when usually the normies get in, then you're like, damn, I think this is like it, right? Because it's diminishing returns at and after.
it's really the
But
top when numbers are getting when
right,
when your auntie Janie
right.
that basically hates
When,
crypto.
when your Uber
Everyone's
driver
like,
is like trading while he's driving, like you're done, you're done.
I mean, and
But
we've seen that. We've things that we've seen all this. It's crazy. I
we
went to
have,
T-Mobile and we were
yeah.
talking about crypto. I was like, "What the hell's going on here?" The guy that worked there.
But at the same token, like you're not talking. We're not seeing anything in the developing world. Like the original promise of Bitcoin and blockchain was money for the unbanked. Innovation for developing nations that don't have a financial system. You're not hearing any of that. All you're hearing is fart
Money, money,
coin.
money.
Yeah, pumps and dumps.
I made $1 million on a token named Vine in 12 hours. That's what you're hearing.
Right, right. That's not even associated with the people. That's just some asshole that launched it. And I think that that's a problem. We need to get back to fundamentals, and that's the Bitcoin maxi and me getting into that and saying it. What you do, you have developing nations like El Salvador that's really doing it. Dominican Republic should start buying Bitcoin, right?
They should listen. They're not going to. I've given up. Actually, Cuba's doing a good job, by the way. But I wanted to get into like before we have to land this like in 10 minutes maximum. Metaverse. You talk about the Trump organization. You just got me thinking. What if Eric Trump and Donald Trump Jr. leave their mark on taking Trump organization online, taking it to the metaverse?
Oh God, the metaverse again.
Because
Oh,
Mark
dude,
Cuban
what can
said
I
it
say about the
right.
metaverse?
The problem with metaverse is that you can always create more land. But what if it's like that's the new thing in the metaverse? You can't create more Trump land without the permission. It's like in the real world when you use the Trump name, right? Trump make a lot of money
Right.
off of people making buildings and putting his name on there. So what
Here's the
if they do
here's the
that?
problem
They
with
do that
the
with the
yeah.
metaverse, the Trump
Here's the
verse.
problem with the metaverse. This is my problem with the metaverse. To have the metaverse, you need the VR, right? You need to interact in there. It can't just be 2D in front of a screen. You need to be in it, right? Like the real estate has to like be in it. The immersion has to be in it. But Oculus, you're not hearing any big development on it. The Apple, whatever thing, that's doing
VR glasses
terribly.
thing.
That's doing
Yeah.
terribly. They canceled their augmented reality project. That is a problem for metaverse, right? Like you can't just have okay a digital city or whatever. Like I did it, like I tried it. Like there was a bunch of I forget about them now
What do
because
you bought land in the metaverse?
yeah, it was which one was it, dude? It's escaping me right now. The starts with an A. If I look at my chart, I'll see it. But
If you want to take a look at your chart while I say something
yeah,
real quick, go
yeah,
ahead.
go ahead. Actually,
So, the metaverse. I have my best friend's brother just he bought land in the metaverse a couple of years ago, and I thought it was a good investment. He's a smart guy. But Mark Cuban said it right. Like a lot of these places with the metaverse, you could just create more land. NFT art projects, you can't necessarily make more. Like every NFT and a
right.
project is unique and has its own unique code. But metaverse, I just don't see the value unless you have like a Trump organization in the metaverse where it's their
Right.
land and you can only buy one building and they can't create more. Like that's
But what do you,
something
what do,
cool.
what are you doing there? Like, what are you gonna do? Like, I
I
guess
don't
like
know
a
what they've been
mechanic.
doing with the metaverse. Like Justin Bieber and Snoop Dogg having concerts in the metaverse. I don't know. People like
Well,
owning
that's
stuff.
that's
I have no,
Fortnite. Like if you have like a Fortnite that does something, like I think you're gonna need right that celebrity allure, as you mentioned. There has to be like an
dude.
event going on. We need
GTA 6 can be in the
all
metaverse and
right,
you can buy
all
land
right.
on
Now
that
that you spoke
mofo.
about that, I want to talk about that.
Oh my
That is
god, we're gonna go
actually
talk about. Oh, sorry, I got you
no, no,
started.
no, 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 no. No. This is
Go
actually
ahead.
because this is actually
You got
interesting.
excited now. You got excited. That's the top, by the way. When GTA 6 comes out
Right,
with
right, right, right.
cryptocurrency, that's the top. That's the top.
That's and that
Lisa.
and no, I think that that's actually one of the most brilliant things when you think about it, because it's an open world. If you do tasks on this open world and it has real world value,
You mean like
and
shooting
you can
people?
actually use it, well, besides that, right? But it's like the missions, right?
Yeah, the
Hey,
missions.
listen, if
Shooting
if
people.
people got if people got their criminal urges out on a video game instead of in real life and they earn, isn't that a
Oh
benefit to
yeah, that's a great
society?
society. Yeah, with degens, not only with degening
Right?
in the Solana casino, we're also earning money for killing people online. That sounds great.
But it proves to a value that I think is there. 'Cause
All
here's
right,
the thing: you have
I'm
video
sorry.
games, and we're talking about play to earn. That has been a thing. The play to earn stuff, you had a bunch of companies that have tried it and have failed miserably because it was just not there yet. But if a company like Rockstar with a great backing did it properly, it would revolutionize everything. And
Like an any game metaverse. So you own buildings and stuff like that, and people are like,
I
yo,
mean,
I want to use
if
your
you want to
building.
if you want to
You
talk
gotta
about
pay
it,
me.
yeah, like it's the metaverse, right? If that's what you want to consider the metaverse, then yeah. And I think like a GTA 6 launching, their Shark whatever token or whatever. I think it would be super innovative. I think you'll have people playing. That game has lasted. The GTA 5 has lasted almost what 12 years already, and people are still
And
playing it to
bro,
this day.
they already said that Uber and GTA are gonna start. They're gonna use Bitcoin, Ethereum, and USDC. Probably not USDT anymore. That's a different story. But
Right.
who knows? Maybe they will. It's just not in Europe.
No, I mean we're hyping up like new use cases, right? Because the old ones aren't there, and I think that that's what people should have to start thinking about. Like, it isn't anymore about like, oh, what stupid fucking coin can I just pump now that like like Divine or whatever. I think that's all dumb. I don't think that there's any inherent value. In fact, it takes value away. It makes the industry look like shit. Like, not to say that the GTA coin or whatever would be the best thing ever, but you have a public company. Rockstar is a public company. Take Two Interactive that would launch something that would be a test case for then other it would revolutionize gaming forever. I mean, people do it with Counter Strike. People sell skins for thousands of dollars now.
Why not
I
use
mean, it's
not?
not.
Why not buy it in Dogecoin?
I
I'm
mean,
just saying.
they could.
That's why Dogecoin was so good because it would add really low gas fees and really fast transaction speeds.
I mean, they could. I mean, I heard that Tether's launching on the Bitcoin Lightning Network, so that's pretty cool. I mean, I don't know how
Of
that
course
actually
they're going
works.
out. They're moving their headquarters to El Salvador. So why not? I want to end by circling back. So we have a
Right.
situation here. I forgot the exact date. It was like 285 days, something right after having usually altcoin season starts. Like it happened exactly to the day in 2017, 2016, 2017, 2021. According to this cycle, we should have started altcoin season in December, the first week of December 2024.
I think it
Six,
started
the
with
first week of
Trump with the
February.
Trump token. The Trump token would have launched, and then Melania killed every single facet of that
Yeah,
cycle.
but that wasn't December, the first week of December. Why wasn't it
I,
this?
I,
So basically, it exactly happened the day after the having the last two cycles, previous two cycles. This cycle were basically a month and 2 weeks, a month and a half. Oh shit, almost 2 months. Yeah,
yeah,
basically 2 months. So the, 2 months in, we're still not in altcoin season. If anything, Bitcoin dominance has increased in the past 12 hours.
because I think everybody's still waiting on the strategic Bitcoin reserve. You still have the states passing their own laws, and I think until that happens, you're not going to see dominance go out. Bitcoin is going to remain the main
Wouldn't that
narrative.
create? Wouldn't the Bitcoin strategic reserves increase dominance?
It will, but the news of it once it's done will decrease it now. Because once you start seeing the United States get into it and the states, I think that news item will be, and everybody's going to start thinking like, okay, what's next? Because that's already done.
So this is not
That's
market manipulation. What's happening now with altcoin season being delayed by 2 months is not market manipulation.
I mean, what is market manipulation at the end of the
What
day?
happened the past 2 days with Binance basically selling like they usually do every 4 years because they know we gotta make sure that shit is cheap for the people, the big money.
I think market manipulation is what happened not just with Binance, but with the market makers taking liquidity off the market. I mean, that is manipulation because they know something that nobody else does, and they're acting accordingly. So that's the manipulation that's happening. But the paradigm of like, oh, what happened, last time, and there was so many days. I think that's over. I think that that's done, and that paradigm has broken completely because we're in a new reality now, and this new reality is a reality of what is going to be the nation states doing. That's their new narrative, and until that comes to fruition, once the United States does it and you start seeing states follow through, then you're going to start seeing new narratives come about. But until that happens, I mean, the biggest narrative win that we haven't even spoken about free Ross, right? Like, that is such
Yeah, free Ross.
right, like, monumental thing. And why is it so monumental, right? And why does it affect price and all that? Because
For
that was a
me, it legitimized for me, it legitimized Bitcoin and legitimized crypto. It's like we
right.
finally freed the man that you thought was like a criminal and was using Bitcoin for illicit purposes. You free him,
Bingo,
basically tell
bingo,
people, yo, this is legit. This guy shouldn't
bingo.
be in prison.
Bingo. And like you almost like reverse like history, right? If you pardon him and you reverse that, not to make what he did right, whatever it was, and
It wasn't right or wrong, right? He just all he did was
right,
create a vehicle.
right. We don't have to get into. I'm a believer that this. guy was an innovative mind, somebody that actually Trump should bring into his inner circle. You know,
He made
that's
the
it.
he made basically he's the reason why people started using Bitcoin as actual currency because of him.
um, but with that, and to your point, yeah, I mean that's the reality, and I think that there has to be use cases for that. Like it can't be drugs and like hiring hitman, but
Hey, like
you
Elon
know,
Musk said, if proper money has to be used for everything, legal and illegal purposes. That's how you know it's actual money
right, which
or
is
currency
the
or whatever.
problem. The problem that people talk about Bitcoin is it actually money, whatever. I just feel like going back to the whole free Ross narrative that you have that taken out, right? You have right wronged or wrong righted. So what's the next one? Like CZ was in jail for 4 months, right? Like, is SBF gonna get pardoned? I hope not.
Oh hell no!
But
Oh no no!
right,
That's when I shouldn't get pardoned. Although I don't
right,
believe he was that smart. I think that he actually did f up because he's kind of dumb. But that's it. That's neither here or there. But yeah, I just want to give you a few last words. I know that you have to get back to your family, and we're gonna do
yeah,
this
yeah, man,
monthly. And you always want to leave the audience wanting more. So give me your last
yeah.
thoughts before we get
All
off.
right. I mean, the last thought is, I think by the next time that we speak, maybe with this announcement, I think you'll get something official with the strategic Bitcoin reserve. Um, I think that we're going to enter, if we're talking about March, if there's a rate cut this month, I think they meet this month, right? If
No,
there
they meet in
is
March. They meet in March.
March, right? So yeah, until they do, maybe not. But I said the last time that we spoke that we'll see new all-time highs, and we were like almost there. We got
We
to like
did.
107.
When was the last
Uh,
time we talked? We talked before President got inaugurated, or no?
yeah, I think
Then
so.
it hit Bitcoin hit an all-time high on the day of inauguration. It did. So it did hit an all-time
Right.
high. You were right.
There's
Like a
the
hundred
prediction.
while,
Right.
while we were asleep. But go ahead,
Yeah,
continue.
that is right. That is right. So yeah, I think you might see another all-time high the next time that we speak, if there is a strategic Bitcoin reserve announcement. Tomorrow's gonna be really interesting. I'm very curious to what they're gonna announce and how it's gonna play out. But ultimately, I think we're in a good position. I think people need to still continue to do their own research. None of this, because I don't want to get in trouble, even though criminality is legal now. None of this that we talked about is financial advice. Uh, but yeah, do your own research. Buy Farcoin, maybe. I don't know. I think it's been doing.
I have,
I don't know what it's
but that's
for.
it. I have. And remember, you
But yeah,
can't fart
man.
without a butthole. So you also, I'm just saying.
Oh,
But go
the
ahead.
butthole coin. I think the main through line is we have to
My
start
only, by the way,
focusing more.
my only asset that actually did well in the past 24 hours is butthole coin. Well, go ahead.
Right, mine was Farcoin, which is the most retarded thing they were talking about, whatever. But because
We're
we're
here
talking
now.
about that, I think we have to start figuring out how to solve actual real world problems. Um, Otherwise, I think we're just going to be in a perpetual cycle of stupidity, and I think that that's going to end this sooner than we go up. And if
And
that's the
with that, but
case,
the utility, Fernando, we'll talk offline about funding. We're gonna make a toilet coin because if you're gonna
you
fart
need
and
to
you're gonna have
you need to
shit and
fart.
you have a
Yeah.
butthole,
What happened to
you gotta,
shitcoin?
yeah,
They're all
you
shit coins, right? Well, XRP is a
yeah.
shit coin. Okay, my XRP announcement. This is my big announcement. I still fucking hate Ripple, but XRP I think can get back to a decent range. I think it's what at $2 now again.
And no, it's up. It's
Um,
like I'll probably hit $3 in the bud morning because South Koreans love XRP.
yeah, I think XRP needs to Brad Gerlinghouse or whatever needs to step away from the
Oh, thank God! If they were
administration.
gonna say something crazy like he needs to die. Okay, so thank God you just say
No,
that.
no,
Go
no.
ahead.
I mean,
I mean,
I mean, he's like the biggest suit. And okay, so this is my question: what is the whole big freaking deal with XRP with all the XRP retardios?
well, we're
Like,
gonna talk about that
why?
next time. Last
All
10 seconds, then we're gonna get out of here.
not financial research, not financial advice.
Advice.
Do your own research, but look for things that are going to provide value, guys. Like look at projects that you truly believe in. Do your own research. Find out what the FTDs are, like what the supply is and who holds it. The information's out there. I can throw some more, so we'll talk about it at this channel later on of my sources, but. Yeah, man, continue to plug away and keep researching.
I'll launch Toilet Coin the next 72 hours. I'll launch Toilet Coin by
Get
the time
me
I
in, dude.
see
Get
you
me in.
on
Listen,
Saturday.
if you hold the biggest supply, dude, you better hit me off with like at least 5% of it, bro. Come on, I'm your boy. I'm good.
I'll have the intern launch it. With that being said, upwards and onwards, brother.
Appreciate it,
Ciao.
bro. Hasta luego.